Yeah!
The following is for entertainment purposes only. Seriously, it's just a scripted fictional comedy show. These guys are not experts, doctors, lawyers, therapists, or even particularly well-adjusted. Everything you hear is opinion, exaggeration, sarcasm, or just plain nonsense. Any resemblance to real people, events, or Uncle Dave is purely coincidental and kind of hilarious. They are not responsible for emotional damage, cognitive dissonance, spontaneous enlightenment, or sudden urges to start a cult. Viewer discretion is advised, especially if you're prone to taking things too seriously. This is a late show. It's not for kids. Your boss or Karen from HR, who will be hearing about this, by the way. Side effects may include thinking, laughing, or yelling at your screen. Fladge Rants Live is filmed before a live studio audience.
The time is now 10:02 p.m. Do you know when you have something special? I sure hope so. Hi, I'm Gary, and welcome to Fladge Rants Live. I mean, Shing Fong here for Fladge Rants Live Orientar. Oh, I read that wrong. It's not Oriental. It's orientation. Okay. Orientation just means your position in perspective to something else. So like, well, without perspective, everything's pretty arbitrary. So today is 101, which colleges use to have entry-level classes, introductions. There's a lot of synonyms here and words and phrases that mean what we mean by orientation. It's fundamental, basic, simple, in work and school. It's to show you the ropes. The NFL draft just occurred, and a lot of new NFL players are going to have their team orientation. I just started a new job, and I generally have an orientation, but someone, trained me, showed me the ropes, and that's your basic orientation. There's also sexual orientation, and I can speak on this as a sexual deviant and a pervert myself. I feel like I can speak on this openly. I saw an Arabic comedian say, the slur for us is sand N-word. I'm not even allowed to say the own slur for my own race, my ethnic slur. And I thought that was funny. But today, I have an orientation for you, a giant reveal, the biggest addition to the show since Drawer, the guy with the hat himself. And that is the board behind me, which will always be behind me on every show. I think I'm going to replace the Christmas tree over here since it's almost May. But this board, it's a lot of personal stuff. But okay, so I never go to my school class reunions. But I would like to think like I recognize when something cool's going on. And let's see, I've been on 4 Caribbean cruises and an Alaskan cruise. But one Caribbean cruise, I hit with this group, and we were all from different areas, and we clicked so well. That group, I want to get back together and have another cruise together with them, the people that I just met on a cruise. back when you were in school, like when you were a kid and you had summer camp and you made a new best friend and you thought you had a friend for life and you said you're going to be pen pals and maybe you wrote for a few months. Some people continued that on for a lifetime, but generally you just let it go. And they just fall by the wayside. These friends that you thought you'd have for life just fade away. Well, I 2 years ago, I was just a delivery driver, career long, and that's what I did. In the last week, I've changed jobs. As a matter of fact, I've worked 6 of the last 7 days, and it was a really tough transition. I went from manufacturing parts for the automotive industry to what I do now, which is manufacturing parts for the automotive industry. Oh, well. But my last job, the girls in shipping and receiving, they made this board behind me, and I couldn't be more proud or excited to show you. And I've got a list of what all of these mean. Now, some of them are people. I'm going to leave the names out, but let's go through this. You're not going to believe. Show 101. There are 101 pictures on this collage. So let's get started. We have technology. The first 5 are right here. And so caption 1, that's mystery person was pooping on the floor. Not kidding. The ladies' bathroom floor always had poop on it. The princess there, that was one of the drivers. He actually pooped in a garbage can in his truck. That pizza, we love food. FMK is a great way to kill time. The next 2, Fladge and the green Care Bear. Well, that's Care Bear. That's me, your own little Care Bear. So that was pretty obvious. Right next to the pizza, we still love food. The unicorn right next to it, that's a girl from The Office that we love. Tan. This one, would you rather? Great, another great way to kill time. Let's see. And then we got, I didn't choose the Nug Life. The Nug Life chose me. I should probably read that one off. Nothing made Wednesday blues go away like Chicky Nuggy Day. Once a month, the sky falls for one of our former coworkers. The poor dinosaurs. All right, moving right along, since we've got a lot to get to. What number is the ghost? 17. Homage to Freddy, the ghost in the building, who likes to confuse us with random animal sounds. 18 is the definition of the workplace. That is Brady. Why are we watching this? One of our coworkers.
Okay, sorry, I didn't mean that seriously though, because I must have missed. Why is what's the point of this? Not shitting on it, just not yet shitting on it. What's the point of this?
This is the greatest single addition to Fladge Rants Live that I could possibly imagine. This is artwork produced by dear friends. You know how you meet people and they don't get you, and I face this a lot because I've got this dark sense of humor and dry delivery, and these girls, I could say anything to them. I have trouble shocking them. I had to come up with a masturbation joke just to get some reaction. I went to her birthday party Saturday. I opened with a cocaine joke. It took copious amounts of felonious narcotics to get the slightest rise out of them. They are my kind of people. And they created this board to rip on the place we love to rip on the most. So, Moving right along. Where is he? Oh, haha. Would you like an apple pie with that? That was another coworker of ours. But heck, Sasquatch is the main feature on the show to begin with. And Snake, what number is Snakey Snake? Was that 20? I can't say that. Okay, so after the snake is this is a ring pop butt plug. it's part of Trailer Park Boys. That right there. This is part of the series that we're going to call the Dan series because that's not his name. Let's see. There's a mean one. 23 is TikTok audio pronunciation of strawberry. This resembles our energy level throughout the day. Splooge fired me. The strawberry is that oh yeah, I already said that. Suicide jokes run strong. This one is all the beautiful dogs that came to see us. They were fun. You might remember this. I included this in one of our shows. Those are the oceanic flatworms, penis fencing. And right back to the other side, where we've got this one here. Yeah, that's a coworker. That's me. Here, I'll just go through really quickly. Chester Cheetah. See him? Guy with tight pants. That was one of the workers. That was one of the delivery drivers. That's a penis reference. Big B Coffee. What do we have here? 33. Oh, can't say her name. It's like, oh, wow, I didn't read this one. This is a long one about Big B Coffee, but yeah, holy cow. So Florida Man, our substitute UPS driver, he's awesome. He's always welcome to the treats we have. I made the treats. So, the giant snowflake, that was Dan as well. 5 out of 10. That's one of our coworkers. Actually, she quit before I got fired. Phenomena. And Teddy, rest in peace. We'll just go up from there. And this is a You Matter book, inspirational. Angry Duck. That is Ian. I can't see what I'm showing you, so flipping it around. So now we got this one came with a jar to give. That was a part that we called the rhino butthole, and 68 is it's. I want to read most of these verbatim because little one did a great job writing these up. Part number resembles Jim Carrey crawls out of that. And we got Buster. Oh, that's the next page. Pigpen here. That was one of our coworkers that He would get so much carbon black on him, but then he'd come back in after a weekend. He'd come in Monday morning. Now he's a white guy. Actually, everybody is. And the back of his neck would still be black. It was peculiar, like he doesn't shower. Neighbor cat, super sweet and pays a visit to us frequently. He'll come into the building and just go about his own business. That was 69. 69. That was Buster. This was the person we left in charge of receiving when we all left within 2 months of each other. Ghetto Broners will never be seen again. The Dan series continues with this elephant and also this elephant with the penis trunk. And this is us getting on their last nerve. We are inspiration for OSHA. This is a different employee who crapped herself. That is a great coworker. This is the only one I drew. This is my boss drew the parts, and I said those look like hats, so I drew the heads. But I'm not as good of an artist. And there's so much more. Oh, I'm sorry. This was Nicole. Hi, Nicole. So that was 49. Golly, I messed this all up. Girls, give me a call. Help me out here. Peppermint Hippo strip club, currently shipping department workers and previous workers desire to open one day. It would be the new Bisco's, but way better. There you go. Rubber hump, like Pornhub. There's an orangutan there. I'm not gonna say who that was. Wicked Witch is crushed under here. The Dan series continues here. He would always have ice cream he did inappropriately in front of women. One girl had so many facial piercings, she looked like this fish. And I want to read 62 to you. There was a joke made about elephant jizz, and the thought about elephant jizz was so funny to not create one, but 2 stickers, and that's the other one. So, and hump in a box is the greatest. It's the single greatest way to get a stack straight. That's just picking out someone's lisp, and that's a funny abbreviation, and that's just good advice. But it's good enough for who it's for. It's a general theme, and I'll read off 57, and it is 2 birds getting stoned. There's a quote for Trailer Park Boys, but it really fits into that workplace. So that is the board. Much higher, so high. 101 different pictures for where I used to work. And like I said, I'm Gary.
So did that poster won first prize at the science fair or what?
It did. This is a science fair. Look how big it is. So it's going to go over here, and it's going to replace the Joker and Kirk and the Christmas tree, and it's going to be up there forever. So there. Like it or love it. That's where it goes. This is your orientation to Fladge Rants Live. Give us a call, 586-3-RANTS-3 if you have any comments on the board, orientation, anything about the show. If it's your first time in the show, it's a good time to join in because this is a reintroduction to Fladge Rants Live 101. It's like a fresh start. And the board is a great way to kick it off. Brady, do we have a Mount Rushmore? Because it's not a show without a Mount Rushmore.
The one thing about Mount Rushmore is they are not ranked 1 through 4. It is just the 4.
I like to talk about philosophers. Friedrich Nietzsche and Immanuel Kant always come to mind. I want to put
I mean,
What did he say?
exactly.
Kant. It's hard not to put a Greek in there. Aristotle comes to mind, and Bertrand Russell's my final pick. But if you've got a better philosopher that you want in there, throw it in the comments. Give us a call, 586-3-RANTS-3, or tell me right now. But we do Mount Rushmores, and it just this week I saw on Facebook, because I stalk people on Facebook. I don't really have an account, but I saw a brother said, I've been doing Mount Rushmores before they were cool. I didn't know they became cool. Did I start something? Like, we've been doing Mount Rushmores since this whole thing started 100 shows ago. So, and that was just my Mount Rushmore of the philosophers. But I love philosophy. It's cool. Like, think about thinking. It's kind of neat, kind of nifty. But we'll have a couple more Mount Rushmores as the show goes on. But roll the clip, Brady.
I battled Eminem, and that was the first time a white guy ever called me. He said, "I'll let my razor." I battled Eminem, and that was the first time a white guy ever called me.
What
He
did he
said,
say?
"I'll let my razor split you till they." First time a white guy ever called me. He said, "I'll let my razor split you till they have to staple stitch you." This nigga took my facial tissue, turned it to a racial issue. And you couldn't even be mad. Because I realized something about racism that day. It only is non-offensive when it's dope.
Yeah.
Right. Had you said that shit and it not been dope, it would have been a problem. Right? But you so cold and courageous that you did it and got away with it.
Yeah.
But when
Sure,
I say
Gary. Now
I
your
won
internet
that
is
battle,
sharp and
you
clear.
won the war.
You're the only white guy that knows what it's like to be a nigga.
I said that before, but that's okay because, like I said, you're a whore. Black girls and white girls just don't mix because black girls are dumb and white girls are good shit.
That was early. Or maybe I was
Yeah,
late.
are
One
we
or
in
the other.
trouble already?
So now that you're not showing the board, your internet is sharp and clear. But while the whole time you were showing it, it was just fuzzy nonsense.
Oh.
So let's start.
Thanks,
we
girl.
start over.
Yeah. Welcome to Fladge Rants Live. I am Shen Feng, Orientor.
Isn't that what orientation means? To make
Yeah. Actually, I think the Orient just means. Oh, thanks, girls. They said I did an okay job. I didn't get through. Like, she wrote this whole thing up, and it's incredible. I had to skip the names, and of course, I skipped the profanity because I don't swear. But it's so good. We'll revisit this. I've got their poem too. It's right there, and those girls are special to me, and always will be. And I don't care about the place that I met them, but thank goodness for it because they're good people. And there's only like 5 people from that place. There's like 30, 40, maybe even now about 30 or 40 people that work there. 5 mean something to me. And those are 2 of them.
Well,
but I feel like when you catch your stride, when you really find something that clicks, and I like to compare it to a choir of angels sings out in unison. And I know angels don't exist, but that's it is a really special moment. Like I like to say you're special just like everybody else, and that basically means you're not special. Well, there are times and places where you do actually catch your stride in mid-season form, and those are times that should be remembered for posterity. We do this show, in fact, so that the little events don't get overlooked. And I think everything should be saved for posterity, but there are brighter, shinier points that should be etched in stone, or it's saved digitally, or drawn colorfully. But this, I love this. This is the coolest thing. I love Chicken Little. Dane fries are done. I mean, there's so much going on here that it's a permanent part of not just the Fladge Rants studio, but my barn, my house, my life. And I love it. I don't know.
I love it too.
Okay.
Oh, I need to update my photo.
Yeah. Well, I'm actually gonna hang it a little better. It's kind of precariously perched right now, but I've never been prouder. This is a great day in Fladge Rants history.
More proud or prouder?
More proudly more proud egg roll. But isn't this a cool shirt?
No.
Safety first.
From Armada Wood, Armada Lumber, Armada Floor and Tiling, Armada Windows, Armada Roofing, Armada Steel, Armada Water.
Nissan makes an Armada. It's like a $70,000 SUV. They priced me out of the game.
Queers.
Would you add any philosophers to my Mount Rushmore? I went with Aristotle, Nietzsche, Kant, and Russell, Bertrand Russell. But I mean, there's a few really good options out there. But
I mean, what is a philosopher anyway? I mean, are we all philosophers? This is just the old timey thing about people who just
Daniel
spoke
Dennett,
aloud.
rest in peace. We are. I should have said Fladge. Why did I include myself in my own Mount
Just
Rushmore?
just because they were the first to say something, we think that they were profound, or because they were the first to write it down, we think that they were more profound. I don't know. I don't have a boner
It
for
seems
any of these
obvious when you talk about what they were saying, but to be the first to say it actually takes some insight.
The first to write it down.
It seems obvious now, but some of those Greeks were way ahead of their time. And I just said Aristotle. I mean, Socrates, Plato. They're all Archimedes. They were all incredibly far ahead of their time. But that's what we've got. The Greeks. I always go back to the Greeks because they started Western civilization. I mean, it goes back further than the Greeks, certainly. I think they were wiped out, though. I think a volcano killed, what was it?
I think you're thinking of the dinosaurs. There's a meteor.
Well, there's a thing for that. Down with the dino, party dino. The birthday party Saturday was dinosaur themed. But in addition to working...
I didn't get invited.
It was the little one, the one who created this board.
Why didn't I get invited? It's horseshit.
Because you ghost everything. I invited you to go disc golfing Sunday. Oh, wait a minute. You did show up for that.
I did?
The one and only day I didn't work in the last 7. And we went out to Stony Creek Metro Park. Do we have a picture?
Jeez.
We
do have a picture. We have a couple
to
pictures.
prove that we were there?
No.
No, there's no way to do that. That's impossible.
I can do that. You want me to do it?
I want you to do that.
If you can't do it, it's okay if you can't do it. I mean, I can do it. Don't worry.
Well, Jug never gets photographed, and I think he got in frame. Somehow, Sasquatch.
That's why I can't do it, because I had to leave. But I'm back,
okay, bye.
So I got it.
Oh.
Guess who's back again.
There's a
Shady's back.
contrail. There's a contrail covered by wispy clouds. Nothing
Yeah, isn't
threatening
that
here.
crazy how that contrail just has a break in the middle? Did it all of a sudden change
those
elevation
are
in that
chemtrails.
spot?
No, it changed temperature. You fucking
All those
I'm assuming it's
stretched out
aluminum
misty
particulate
clouds.
to blot out the sun.
So first of all, those misty clouds are definitely a different altitude, probably several thousand feet difference.
Now, dim
well,
sun
And I think that
is
is because how bright it
oriental.
is. So,
But if you're trying to dim the sun, that's chemtrails.
right. Then you're evil.
So
Right.
I
Well, I don't know.
dimming the
Maybe-
sun. We got to do one thing at a time here, though. So let's get the pictures here. Oops, I hate when I do
Okay.
that. Show all the phone numbers on there. That's never good. Be careful. Remind me to take it off
Give
the
me a
screen
call.
when I switch pictures. Who's taking these photos, by the way? That's a great shot.
That was Drawer.
Me? I don't know. I was looking at the chemtrails, the brakes in the chemtrails. For
so we're
some
looking
reason,
at
it's
the
kind of grainy
chemtrails
right
off in
now.
the distance.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. Or the shitty spring grass at the disc golf course.
It's a lightning bolt, so they're actually whoever's trying to kill us all left their signature in the sky. That's so irresponsible.
Drawer and I shot like crap, but we drew each other as partners on a random draw, and we decimated the competition. It wasn't fair, and we were terrible.
It was all flips
There
and we
we
were only
are.
two heads.
Hold on, I can make this a little better if I do that.
Yeah, make it bigger.
There was like 6 people flipping, and you and I are the only two that hit heads right off the bat,
Correct.
No,
which is
well,
pretty
let me-
Yeah,
weird.
we were
Pretty weird.
Partners drawn.
Whatever. Well, let me make it bigger.
Yeah, make it bigger, or I
I'd
can
love
get
to.
closer.
Excuse me. I'd love to. Is that
Oh,
the
we
back
don't
of
have
your
the
head there?
technology.
Usually I do, but
Yeah,
it won't let me.
You'd know my head anywhere. Am I wearing a flannel? At the beginning of the round, I was wearing my hockey jersey, my Labatt blue hockey jersey, blue 24. But then it got hot. It got really warm. So I stripped down to just my
So what
flannel.
everybody wants to know who won.
It was Drawer and I. Drawer and I, and a distant second was Easy. Who was Easy's partner?
The
Who
new
was
guy?
Easy's
So
partner?
Ryan was
Is it
giving
the
out
new
a few
guy?
comments during your
Ryan.
board display. He said Peppermint Hippo. They're just copying the Spearmint Rhino titty bars, Gary.
Oh, okay. Spearmint Rhino, Peppermint Hippo. That's exactly
And I
what
wish-
they're doing.
I wanted to get this one right when you said it. It was all white people? Bro, that explains so much. I'm not sure what he's referring to.
Actually,
You don't know what that means?
there's a taco and a burrito because a lot of the people in there speak taco and or burrito. And I didn't want to skip the racist part, but there's
No
a
offense for your
taco
grinder there, but I would have fucking had that smoked already. You're just trying to get it out.
I already smoked one.
I'm not sure if I like technology.
So
But-
the whole comment
Wait,
about the
one more
white
comment.
people.
Aldous
Yeah, mo-
Huxley is my favorite. Sorry, I can't say the word fave because I'm a man. I have
we
to say
already-
favorite.
We already discussed that.
Okay, my bad.
I think so.
Who
I mean,
is-
Gary acknowledged it. I don't know if he discussed it.
I wanted to make sure I commented on the
who-
fave. Fave. Do you guys use the word fave ever?
No,
No.
I never say.
No,
Who is his favorite philosopher? I missed
his
it.
philosopher. Fave.
You
Fave.
did miss it. So I thought we covered it. Aldous Huxley.
He acknowledged
Aldous?
it.
Aldous Huxley.
Oh,
Am I saying it wrong? Is that what you're
all
making fun of?
Huxtable.
Do I need to hit the grammar?
What did he say?
Huxley. No kidding. Okay. I'm
Oh, yeah.
not. I'm
I wanted
not.
to comment on the white people comment. It was all
Are
white
you sure
people, bro. That
Are you
explains
sure
so
you're
much.
qualified?
Do you know that most things were all white people, and that's why we're able to
know
explain
what?
so much?
Let's give it up for white people.
Yeah.
I don't know who does that.
No,
Thank
we
you,
never.
white people,
we
for-
never get the.
Everything that we have today, everything we have today.
When's White History Month?
It's every other month.
Oh yeah. It's all the time. Even
So I took
February.
notes. I took notes during your rant. My
Yeah.
first question was egg roll?
Yeah.
Question mark. I'm not sure what that meant.
Okay. Egg roll.
My next question was FMP with a question mark.
Fuck my pussy.
Okay. If you want to have sex with a person, marry a person, or kill the person. So they give you a group of 3. They list you 3 people. Say me, Brady, Drawer.
Mm.
So I know how to play. I know how to play Fuck, Marry, Kill. But what's FMP?
Yeah, going back to that 3rd grade poster. Are we like now we're in 4th grade?
What's FMP? You said FMP, right? Not FMK.
Fuck my pussy.
Hey, FMK. It says
then
FMK.
All right, I typed the wrong letter. That's probably why I was confused. And I noticed your board said nerd. You noticed your board said nerd.
It did.
Nerd. I do remember saying that.
And then my last comment, because we haven't played it for a while, and it's 101. There was a picture. There's a picture of a pair of pants.
Yeah.
Those are slacks.
They're slacks.
He's going to help us with our song about pants.
And that is not a D at the end of that is at the very top of the board. It's meow, and it's the sound shipping and receiving people make as they pass each other, and the sound must become louder and more aggressive throughout the day. Also, I skipped the name of the high-low. Like if I needed boxes, which I needed periodically throughout the week, I would have them grab, a pallet of new fresh boxes with the high-low, which they called Neater. It was Neater.
You were going to grab them in the...
We had fun.
Is that what happens when you get new coworkers, new female coworkers? You get some fresh boxes?
So
good.
Ryan said it explains why he would go. Being you, I would assume. Is that why you were let go? No, you were let go for no reason, right?
I wouldn't consider it. Yeah, that's right. It's proven it was an OSHA violation. They admitted to that, and it was proven in a court of law. What? We can look. Just read the OSHA protocol on air hoses and tell me I'm wrong.
No.
We have video evidence. No, I'm not arguing with you. I'm arguing with. I don't know.
Do you want to get higher or do you want to
Dan's
take the
wife?
pledge? What do you want to do first? Get higher or take the pledge?
Both.
Both?
Are those the only two options?
Can we get much higher? So
Oh, every orientation comes with a pledge. You got to swear in. You got to get sworn in.
And that's brilliant.
There we go.
Your orientation. You got Kanye West.
All right,
I only
Fladge
get that.
gets.
But
Time to
It's an
pledge your
oath.
questionable allegiance. All right, Fladge gets. Time to pledge your
I think it should
questionable
be
allegiance.
fledgets, but
Stand up or don't. We can't see you. But know this, the guilt will find you. Place your hand on your beverage and repeat after me. I solemnly do not swear to disrespect reality as needed, to rant when attacked by thoughts, to boo all neighbors' pipes, honor all
I
homes,
solemnly
and
swear to
defend
wait.
Fladge Rants live against logic, reason, and mouth
no, he doesn't
noises.
swear, you see. So you
I
got to
can't
solemnly
I
remember all
swear.
accept
Do
that
not
drawer
swear.
is real, that and afterlife is regardless, and that I am probably wrong about both. I vow to correct others' grammar with maximum pettiness, to make fun of myself and laugh at my own jokes louder than is appropriate, and to remember, if it makes too much sense, it's probably a trap. So help me.
He didn't know what to
You
say
did
there.
it. You're officially inflagellated. There's no going back now. Welcome to Fladge Rants Live, where the only way out is through the wall.
Interesting.
Amen.
Yeah.
Sorry, my new toy is
Gay man.
AI lip sync, so I'm loving it.
Interesting.
My new toy
Amen.
is is this board, and nothing sadder than childhood that involves dipping an Oreo into water because you don't have milk.
Dude, I would
That's
just eat a
sad.
dry Oreo. What?
My new toy is weed. It's 38%.
No, it's not.
That's what it says.
Yeah, but if you read it in fine print, it's plus or minus 10%.
Right. So at least it's 22 or above. Or
Yeah, you're right.
38,
I've got
28
something
and
that
above.
could be fucking 50.
Right? Yeah, it could
Is
be
it-
more.
Is it infused?
I doubt it's ever more. No, it's
Right.
not. They had some infused shit. I don't like that stuff. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know. I want weed.
So weed experts, please correct me if I'm wrong, but there's no like litmus test. There's no drop chemicals on it test. Literally somebody goes, I think that's about a 3.5, maybe 18. That's how they do it.
They've got a test.
Yeah, there's a room.
It says on the
No,
side.
they don't.
36% THCA, 32% THC, and 0.06% CBD.
I said weed experts, please correct me. They break it
I don't
down
know.
to the molecular level and shit.
Well, I'm just saying there's going to be other areas of the plant that are going to be more potent than others. So I don't know if they take like an average or if they just take one piece. I don't know.
Well, I
And
definitely
you
want.
take a
if you would
sample,
want-
you put it in the fancy computer, and it spits out the results. Come on.
They would want the hardiest part of the plant because they want to like pad their numbers, I'm sure.
Well, if it's any to me, from my experience,
a
if it's
third party
anything
do it.
anything higher than 25, 30%, they have to spray it with keef, and it's like infused, and then it just gums up all my equipment. I don't like that, and I don't really get
It's
that much.
not
higher. I
infused.
just look.
It's not infused.
The last
Here.
shit that I got was the last shit was infused, and this was the keef I had left after I cleaned up all my shit.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I don't like it either because it just
You're like
comes up my
playing
It's
games. I
pure-
just want
it's
weed.
great. It's really good. People that make wax want it because they can turn it into really good wax. But
Well, why wouldn't you just use the keef? I don't understand
What's
why
wrong
you
with
would.
the keef? Yeah.
Why would you
You
spray the
can't.
keef on the weed and then make wax out of it when you could just take the keef and then make the what?
well, yeah, I don't know. I don't like infused weed. I wish they would stop it.
My light sucks.
It's too dark.
Oh, I got a
Fuck,
light on
can't
this
see it.
bitch. Forgot I
Turn
got a
around.
light on this
There you
bitch.
go.
This
Yeah,
is like
it's
an
too
introduction to weed.
That made it worse. Yeah, it looks.
You're
okay.
making
It's a
it
little-
worse.
It's a little.
I love making things worse.
Did you get smalls? You save some money and get the smalls.
Yeah, I don't give it. Yeah, I don't need the smalls.
I
are
don't
perfect,
either.
Really, they're
I
nice
don't
little
either.
bull packers.
I love
yeah,
the smalls. It's so much easier to clean up. Don't tell them that. They'll start charging more for the smalls.
Right.
I don't
There's,
find it- I don't
smaller
Is that what they
stems
call it?
in the
Big
heart of
buds
the.
any more potent.
You mean you get a large bud, you get a stem in there. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean.
Yeah.
I'm awake and I can hear you, so I do know what you mean.
And I'm
Interesting.
fluent in English. You're speaking
Hold
English.
on.
There we go.
Hold on. What is
Really?
this?
No regrets,
Wait, who's that?
dude.
We
Don't
got an
play
original
those.
commenter.
Don't play those, man.
I'm not playing it. I'm commenting.
I mean,
it's an
don't-
original
don't show
commenter.
it. Fucking Steam Boo.
What is it?
I've been to steamboostspace.com and it doesn't go to any website.
For the record, we do not pay for the views.
streamboostspace.com.
We sure as hell don't pay for cheap viewers.
Oh,
We
Again,
got
that website does not work. Streamboostspace.com. It does not compute.
cheap and sensitive.
Green
We
Boot?
plunk down another year's worth of.
You got to put the space in there.
So if anybody would like to contribute, there's a button right down there. You can help out.
Yeah. Cheap viewers. It looks like you're a cheap viewer. Take that. You guys talking about dim sun, right?
yeah.
Have you ever seen the sunset at 3 p.m.?
I'm gonna have to show my.
When I
fucking
was
video
sailing
later.
round the Arctic. Shut up, you. Take one last look at the sun, Springfield.
You just doing this for fun.
Hey, hey! I've been in Reno for 6 weeks. Did I miss anything? What the? Ugh.
And we're blocked.
That's how I
So,
feel.
Did you do you think they're gonna
No.
block it out with metal or with
We're not blocked because that is from the Things I Can't Find Otherwise YouTube channel, which has 144K subscribers. And that was posted 9 years ago, and it has just under 800,000 views, and it has not been flagged. So we will not be flagged, but watch
You want to
Things
bet?
I Can't Find Otherwise flag us for their content.
Yeah. How much you want to bet? They flat. Yep.
I love when that happens. Yeah.
Okay.
People that steal the shit.
I'm constantly giving Drawer a hard time about chemtrails because I don't believe that every contrail that you see up in the sky is a chemtrail. That's as far as I go. But as far as blocking out the sun, oh shit! I just hit the wrong.
Nice job.
Let's start with a joke. What's the difference between a conspiracy theory and the truth? And the answer is 3 to 6 months. Right. This morning, I got sent an email about something about net zero that was in the Sun newspaper that basically said that net zero is going to bankrupt us all. We're going to end up worse off, and it's going to impact the poorest in society. And I thought, oh, that's a good one. I'll do that as a video and let people know.
Carbon emissions.
But then I thought, one, you all already know that. And two, I couldn't actually find the article. So I was Googling net zero stuff, and then there's a black cat walking across there.
We don't
Is
care.
that good luck or bad luck? If it does it again, they will know that we are actually stuck in the Matrix. And we'll come on to that at the end of this video. This is actually from the Telegraph, and I found this by accident this morning. Again, go back to the conspiracy theory, 3 to 6 months for conspiracy theory to become reality. Experiments to dim the sun will be approved within weeks. Scientists consider brightening clouds to reflect sunshine among ways to prevent runaway climate change. So, cool. What do you think so far? Experiments to dim sunlight to fight global warming will be given the green light by the government within weeks. Global warming, is that the one where Al Gore said we're all going to be underwater? Or is that the one where they said we're going to get too hot? Or is that the one where we're going to get too cold? Or is it the rising sea levels? Because as Warren Buffett said, if global warming was causing rising sea levels, then we'd be seeing a huge property crash on the coast in Florida.
So my whole life I was told we got to stop pollution. 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 So what they're going to do is they're going to inject a shitload of pollution to make shinier clouds to reflect the sun. And I like the reason he said I'm going to call back to the Matrix, because that's literally the plot of the Matrix. Is to stop the machines, right? Didn't they block out the sun?
Yeah, I believe they did. They were solar.
Yeah. End well. This is in the UK. And they're trying to pass a law. I think they've been doing it a lot already. Not in every commercial airliner, but they've been doing it. They've been cloud.
You mentioned Warren Buffett, and years ago, like decades ago, Warren Buffett bought the company that I just hired in at.
Well, I think he owns more than half the companies in the world, so that you got like a 50-50.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah.
Responsible outdoor research. We have strong.
Yeah.
You know what I find confusing is I always like when I hear about like them wanting to terraform Mars.
Yeah.
Is it terraform? Yeah, terraforming. I almost want to say terraforming. Terraforming Mars. The way that they plan on doing that is by putting CO2 into the atmosphere to create greenhouse gases. And here we are on our planet trying to fight not to have CO2 to prevent greenhouse gases.
No, we should definitely start by terraforming Earth.
Earth, right? If we can't terraform Earth and we have to leave Earth, it's like, hey, do me a favor, build a car, and the car is 99% done. All you gotta do is like put in windshields, and I can't do it. So now go somewhere where there's no car parts and try and build a car. It has to be a little bit harder, right? It has to be harder to terraform Mars than Earth.
So I already looked it up, but they say that they want to. Hold on, where did it say that? Terraforming Mars, thick as atmosphere, carbon dioxide, to increase surface temperature, to create a more Earth-like environment.
Sorry, I know you
method is releasing
on super speed, but you're talking too fast. What?
I was going to keep talking the whole article.
Do you have
one proposed method?
Speed?
I think we did.
One proposed method is releasing CO2 trapped in the Martian polar ice caps by using mirrors to
You can do it. Everyone's rooting for you.
Concentrate. That's concentrate. Why does it look so weird to me?
Concentrate.
Concentrate somehow, potentially triggering a domino effect to further CO2 release. Other ideas include using nuclear explosions to vaporize the ice caps or establish solar-powered greenhouse gas-producing factories. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't buy it. Anytime that we fuck with shit, we have to fuck with shit more so after the fact to fix what we fucked with. Right?
Yeah, but this thing's already fucked,
It sounds like an old person that they throw medicine at. Oh, I'm sorry, your blood pressure's dropping. Yeah, but it's dropping because you gave me this medicine. You're right, and then we have to give you more medicine to counteract that medicine, and the next thing you know, you're dead.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's treat the symptoms.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's worse when the symptoms are from the treatment. You know, that's a vicious circle.
It sure
profitable. Very profitable.
Yeah, but then they just give you a different pill for that.
My wife and I not met like at the same time. Sat down with a doctor, but the doctor was like shocked that we weren't on a regimen of medication at our age. They're like, so
recently?
Recently, they're like, are you afraid of medicine? I mean, because there are a lot of good medicines, and we're like, yeah, I'm. Like, we didn't have a conversation about how I feel about conspiracies or if the medical communities. It's just they just looked at a chart and said, "Huh, why aren't you on medicine? You know, what's wrong with you?"
Did he start asking you questions like, "Well, does your back hurt at all? I mean, how's your how do you feel when you get up in the morning? Do you feel run down at all?
I feel fine."
He's just trying to find something to prescribe you.
And the logical conclusion would be like, maybe there's something to eating healthy and, you know, working hard for a living. Not that I work that hard, but I mean, I lift things, I do things, you know. And as I'm doing this, I'm literally going up and down the freight. No, I'm not bragging about it, but listen, as I'm going up and down the freight elevator, moving heavy shit, I see the office workers
taking an elevator. Take the stairs, asshole. Then brag.
I can't. I have a cart full of fucking servers. I take the stairs when I don't have a cart. But my point is, as I'm doing all this work, we're at the end. The dock is at the end of this long basement hallway where all the office workers look like mall workers. You know, I mean, mall walkers. You know what mall walkers are in the morning? The old people that walk the mall.
Yeah, I used to work at the mall.
Their job is so sedimentary. I think I said that right. They sit for a living. They have to actually walk, you know, so they don't grow roots. And I kind of resent them a little bit because I'm like, you're
sedentary.
What is it? Sedimentary? Sedentary.
Sedimentary is rock formations. Sedentary is
either one would have worked, dude. They're just literally they sit still like a rock.
Okay, those people are rock formations. Yes,
that's what I meant. Obviously, that's what I meant. I'm not stupid. It's not really time. I noticed George's not saying a word about my grammar after he couldn't say fucking moderate or whatever. Sedate.
Yeah, it was a complicated word.
It was.
And I'm gonna since
we
both did it.
I love this show.
Get out of the gene pool. That's fucking rude.
Get out of the gene pool?
That's not die. That's don't have kids.
Right.
That's worse. Like that's whew.
Kids suck. Kids suck. It's
kid.
true.
I love my
do
kids.
the kid.
I'm driving for fucking 14 hours tomorrow to go bring one of my kids back home for the summer.
No. Let her stay there.
I love it. It's great.
We popped the kids cherry.
Wait, what? Your kids? Whose kids?
No,
my
the kids.
My kids don't.
Your kids don't what?
Fladge.
Your kids don't ask Fladge.
My kids don't ask Fladge. That's the best advice you could give.
My boyfriend, Ashton, is bisexual. After we have fights, he takes breaks.
Hold on. You can't say a name like
Ashton.
Ashton.
I guess it's okay.
Chin? He's got like a little ass chin?
No, he just always likes people to sit their ass on his face. Right on his chin.
Who
ass
doesn't?
chin. That's why it sounds funny. You sure it's not Aston?
But starting
Ashton.
a sentence,
Ashton.
my boyfriend is bisexual.
Ash chin.
What?
Is that Tom Brady? Tom Brady has an ash chin.
He does. He does. Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you, but I so did.
My boyfriend Ashton is bisexual. Now I'm confused. I'm confused about that. So is this a dude or a chick? I'm assuming it's a chick, right?
Anymore. It's 2025. It makes no difference. I mean, it does
chick
to
rating
me.
in.
Does it matter?
No, I'm just curious because like if you're dating whoever, you should be straight then, right? Like if you're dating a chick and you're a dude, you're straight, right? Unless you're also fucking a
It's
guy.
either your boyfriend or bisexual, not your boyfriend or
in
bisexual.
an open relationship, yeah, right.
Two wongs.
That means there's still an option there. Why would there still be an option if they're together? I don't know.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, either your boyfriend is your boyfriend or your boyfriend is bisexual.
Right.
In which case, he's not your boyfriend because he's bisexual, and
He's fucking other dudes.
So what you're saying is 4 lefts equals straight.
No,
I guess so.
3 lefts. Wait, 1, 2.
No, it'd be
4 lefts equals straight.
No.
If you're gay and then not gay, and then you change your gender, and then you become gay in that gender, you're hetero.
Straight again?
Yeah. Okay. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
I hate that this one's a little lengthy. My boyfriend Ashton is bisexual. After we have fights, he takes breaks and uses them to be with other men.
Okay.
With other men? So this could be a dude. He has several friends who are bisexual or transgender. I like how it's one or the other. They're not both. He is presently in the closet about his status because he comes from a Christian family and lives in a highly conservative area. He was still maintaining contact last year with his on-again, off-again boyfriend, Will, even though he swore nothing was going on between them. He always rushed back to Will or kept him on the side during his other relationships as well. I almost broke up with him 4 months ago over his hanging out with Will. Now he wants his friend Cody, who is a transgender male, which means it's a female, to stay with him for several days for an upcoming concert there. I'm in the process of moving to his area, but I don't trust him not to have sexual relations outside of ours. My straight male friends have warned me not to trust him and to fuck them. Should I break... That part wasn't in there, obviously. Should I break up with him because I don't feel he respects his female partners as much as he does his male ones? It also seems like he has a double standard with sharing phone details. I share mine openly, but he isn't as open with his, which leads me to think he's still got someone else on the side. Yet he wants me to see only him. Help. Signed, frustrated girl in California.
Listen, frustrated girl, you don't have to break up with him. You're not a couple.
Right?
Jeez. That's an open shut case. It's an open relationship.
It shuts if you don't cram something in it.
Open and shut relationship, yeah.
Oh, yeah. When you go to the doctor and say, my butt hurts around the entrance, and the doctor says, your butt's going to hurt as long as you keep referring to it as an entrance.
Do you think he has that same standard with everybody else he's fucking? They're not allowed to fuck anybody else? But he is?
They all have to be exclusive.
Right.
Except him. It's not a double standard if it only applies to you.
Haram.
Is that what that means?
Incidents in your life when you have prayed and God has
Great.
answered your prayer.
I'm going to be messing with the volume.
Almost in a specific way.
All the volume's starting slow. So
yes,
low.
I think I can.
Yeah.
And I believe very much in what Abraham Lincoln said when he had this job. He said he couldn't perform the functions, the duties of this job for 15 minutes if he didn't know that he could call upon one who was wiser and stronger than all others. But in that connection, I think my mother, a lesson that was hammered over and over again, and as I grew up, I really began to realize, and that is when there was a great disappointment, something went wrong, she would say to us, look, just everything happens for a reason and for the best. Now, she said, you may feel bad about this right now, but down the road, something will happen good. And you will, in appreciating that, look back and say, if that hadn't happened, that supposed bad thing, this good thing would not have happened. And I had a classic example in my growing up.
Can you recall incidents in your life?
Okay, so there's a couple things about that. A delusional way to deal with stuff probably isn't the healthiest way, but an overwhelming job, it might help. I don't know. But the karma part of that is malarkey. However, all the bad things that happen to you and all the good things that happen to you, everything that's ever happened to you makes you who you are. And I wouldn't trade a thing. This just in.
Canada just elected Mark Carney as their next prime minister. The Liberals are saying they won the election.
They elected a Carney?
Screw
Mark
them.
Carney.
They just
Elbows
Trump
up. Is that like the next step of fisting?
Elbows up. Yeah, what does that mean? Elbows up, Canada.
I don't know. Elbows up. You like
elbows up?
Elbows
or
deep.
is that like you're going all
You're
the way?
saying it's elbows deep.
Wow.
Elbow deep, or are you
Elbows
going in
deep,
this
Canada.
way? Like, are you going
All
this
right.
way?
I didn't know
What are you
anything
doing?
about that.
Huh. I don't
The
think
only
anyone
news
did.
I've been watching is the NFL draft, but I've been watching it for the silly names. A lot of very, very funny names came out.
Yeah.
Careful.
So dumb little story.
Yeah.
I don't like random people just having bullshit conversations with me when I'm out and about, obviously, as we all know.
Yeah, we've heard.
No.
So I'm out and I know that like
Doing,
it's,
Jar? What the fuck does that mean?
my mom will get me like local sports team shirts for fucking like, I don't know, random holidays. And so I'll wear them as a representation of where I'm from when I'm out and about.
Yeah.
Some people like take this as an invitation that like I'm the Encyclopedia Britannica on everything sports whenever I'm wearing atypical things. So whatever. So I had tigers and I had lions, and I was going to put the tigers one on. I go, wait, no, because they're like in season. People are going to ask me about them. And so I put the lions on. I'm going through TSA and the Lions guy, the guy at the fucking in Reno
What'd you
goes,
think of the draft?
oh, well, yeah. And I'm like, fuck. I'm like, God damn it. Because it was that day. He goes, who are you guys going to draft today? And I'm like, just like, hopefully something good. You know, he wanted, I don't know. I just like, leave me alone. I don't know. No, I just said, hopefully something good to try to bypass the situation. And I continued on, and he said a couple other things, and I just
say
didn't look at him again.
I love Green Bay. My girlfriend got me this. Fuck off. That'll get a Lions person.
Oh, I've
to
tried that
shut
before.
up.
I've told you the Asheville, North Carolina. I was at Gander Mountain looking at
Ashton?
fishing rods.
Did you say Ashton?
And this kid sees me with an Asheville, North Carolina shirt that my mom got me for a vacation destination that I didn't go to. And so I'm just wearing it. And so he asked me about it. He goes, "Oh, have you?" And I go, "No." I told him that exact
I can't
story.
even find it on a map.
I've never been there. Yeah, exactly. And so I get to the register. You know, it's like several minutes later. I get to the register. It's the same motherfucker. He goes, "Are you sure you've never been?" And I'm just like, "No, dude." I'm like, "What do you want to? What didn't you understand?"
I visited there and came back to the store.
And so I'm really annoyed. He cashes me out. I'm walking out the door, and I'm like a few steps to the door to turn, and he goes, "Excuse me." He goes, "Is that a Pistons jersey on underneath your shirt?" And I'm just like, "Dude, what the fuck is your problem?" And I stormed the fuck out of there.
It was a Pistons jersey on under that. It was your number
Yeah,
one.
but
Chauncey Billups jersey.
He had another customer. Like, what do you want to have a fucking like conversation
He
about what
chased
I'm
you out the
wearing?
door with the
All my choices in my day have to be explained to this fucking kid at Gander Mountain.
I'm going to need the city and the crossroads. You know how this show works. We're going to get that clerk on the line.
I'll get like if I wash my hands too much, I get little like cuts and because my skin dries out. I use paper tape, and I was buying tickets for something, and somebody goes, "Oh, what's wrong with your hands?" And I'm like, dude, I get cut when my hands get dry. I work with my hands sometimes, and I don't wear gloves and I forget to, and I wash my hands a shit ton. And he's like, "Oh, why don't you try the shit that I already have? What the fuck is that? The working hands, whatever." And I go, "Yeah, I use that stuff, but it really doesn't help that much." I go, "It really just stings more than anything." And he goes, "Are you sure?" Like, it's like like just leave me alone. Stop questioning me about like I could be self-conscious about this, and you're just like wanting to have a conversation. Just sell me my fucking tickets and move the fuck on. It's at the Suburban Collection show place. Actually, it's a fucking asshole. Let me into the damn boat show, you piece of shit. It wasn't. It was a couple of years ago, so I don't know.
You're just you can't wait till kiosks run everything.
Yeah. I purposely go to kiosks. I've done that.
The kiosk now is like, tries to act all human and makes you engage before it gives you whatever you need.
You ever get the AI drive-through?
No.
It's creepy.
I think we just did
a couple
times.
times.
My mom and I went to Arby's, and I said, "Hi, can I do whatever this that?" And it says, "We will be with you in a moment." And I was like, "I'm sorry, I didn't catch you. I didn't hear that." And I waited a while, and then we're like, I'm like, so give me a, and then it's like, it sounded exactly the same. We will be with you in one moment.
Is that all it did? And then a human came?
A totally different voice came.
Yes.
Okay, no,
I
this
got
is all
greeted
AI.
by
It's
one
all
voice at
AI.
Arby's drive-thru, and then
Yeah,
I gave
Taco
my
Bell.
order to a different voice.
And did
At
it
a
say
particular Taco Bell.
Did it say, "Are your fingers okay, Jor? And how was your day? Do you mind spending a moment
Yeah.
to chit-chat?"
Have you ever been to
Sometimes,
the Pistons
sometimes
Jersey?
you'll get a human, and sometimes you'll get the AI thing, and I don't know why. Like maybe they're busy at the time, or I don't know. Maybe every other order, but it's all
Probably
AI,
testing it.
and it takes the order. I've never had it mess up, and I get a very specific. I'll get the taco party pack, 6 crunchy, 6 soft, and then sometimes I'll get the whatever number 7. I think it's the quesadilla steak, and then
Wait.
I'll get an extra couple tacos, and it never gets any of that wrong.
I think that 12-pack is like about a nickel more for each taco.
Dude, I get it quite. I've gotten it quite often when I've traveled. It ranges anywhere from $17 to like $25. It changes.
Next time
even
you're
in the
there,
state.
and I know you're convenient. You sure as fuck don't want to do math at a fucking. But I'm pretty sure if you buy 12 tacos individually, it's cheaper, and they'll gladly throw them in that box for
Should we
free.
do the math?
No.
No, I think
I
it
can
is.
do it.
You're just assuming
No,
it's
that's why
cheaper.
it's always bulk is always cheaper.
No, dude, I was at Target and I bought a big water, and I was like, "Hey, this 24-pack is like $2 more than 4
Well, you always look at the
6-packs."
price per. Yeah.
And they said, "Yeah, you're paying for the packaging convenience. It's $2 more to get 4 of them wrapped
Taco
together." I was
Bell
like,
menu.
"Fuck off."
How is that convenient? That's convenient
that's
for
not a
them for
thing.
shipping and
I just-
loading and
my
stacking.
world is the more you buy, the cheaper shit gets. Obviously, I agree with you, but that's not the way stores think now. They're taking it. They know you think that, and they take advantage. Dunkin' Donuts, same thing. They got a 2 for. If you buy a coffee and a donut, it's like $2, but each thing is 99 cents. Fuck off! I'm not paying 2 cents more. You're gonna ring up each one separately. And yeah, it's the principle of the thing. It's not the 2 cents.
Yeah, those are your 2 cents. Dear Fladgy.
And wait,
13-year
sorry, before you get into that, you don't have to talk back to. You could just stand there. That's the best way. Don't engage. Sorry, I
just
just
don't
thought
say
of that.
anything. Just
Yeah, just
yeah,
be
that's
like-
the best thing. Yeah, just don't say anything. Be like a mute. Just sit there and don't say anything, even
Give
though
them the
they're trying
silent
to talk to you.
treatment. It
Yeah.
works.
No, the silent treatment
hear you
never
win.
works.
You're
Yeah,
right.
no,
not the
apparently you
twist, don't
win.
you? Say, give me 25. I know we don't pay like that anymore, but give me 25 on pump 5. And if he says, "Oh, how's your finger?" Just don't move. Just stoic.
Ask.
I promise you, he won't ask a second question. Yeah, ask Fladge.
I also want to just make random shit up sometimes, just to fuck with
nice.
people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do that.
I like
do that
that
all the
too.
time. That's fun.
Yeah, I heard it inside of a butthole. There's some real coarse. My boyfriend and I got bit by the gerbil when I was trying to put in my boyfriend's butthole.
See, I want to talk about strange sexual orientations, like shoving fruit up your ass.
Yeah, exactly. My 13-year-old son and I recently had a discussion that maybe you
When
can
I
help
tried to grab his
clarify.
cock, that's what I would say. Sorry.
Say that again.
The last clerk bit my finger when I tried to grab his cock.
Oh, very
What?
good.
Why would he do that?
He didn't want you to grab his cock, or his mouth was too close to his dick already. He was trying to suck.
Interesting.
It's too much.
Dear dipshit, with a 5th grade science fair poster board in the background.
Every time he mentions it, you graduate one grade. It's going to be porn by the time we're done.
Right? It should be. I think some of it might be borderline porn, isn't it?
Porn board sounds awesome.
Oh yeah, there are
Porn
penises
board?
all over the thing.
Porn board.
Why would a porn board? Just I like that
Would you
rhyme.
look at the sucker pop candy fucking cartoon shit, or imagine if each one of those was a naked woman. I'd like a porn board. I think the term you're looking for is, but anyway.
Flashy.
Is that a minion with 2 eyes?
It's a minion. When we clean out the pits, they dress in these coveralls and they get all filthy. That's the
You say
the,
coveralls?
carbon black.
I say overalls.
They don't do either, actually.
They don't cover all or overall.
No, they don't go overall and they don't cover
They're
all.
all. I mean, overall, by
Speaking of
and
porn.
large.
Speaking of porn, I like porn that starts with just a woman in coveralls.
Oh. Ask Fladge. We're gonna get through this one. We're gonna get through this one.
My 13-year-old son and I recently had a discussion that maybe you can help clarify. We are seeing more. We are seeing more about trans people these days, and I'm not sure how to address them. I don't want to offend anyone, but when you see a large male wearing pants, skirt, etc., but has pink hair and makeup, should I say sir or madam?
Who the fuck starts a conversation like that?
My son says I should ask what pronoun. You always laugh at that one. My son says I should ask what pronoun they would like to be preferred by, but I am not sure that's a polite way to find out. I know this is also intertwined with sexual preference, but that still doesn't mean it is clear cut. What's the most polite way to handle this? Question mark.
Who cares?
Signed, confused in the South. I say go.
And now, pigs in space.
We've got pigs in space now?
No, I would just that's how I would refer to them.
Oh, pigs in space. Oh, okay. No, try a new weird pronoun.
What if they're not? What if they're not butch lesbians? Would you still call them pigs in space?
Ask them what their name is. Just use their proper noun.
I've honestly always thought the same thing, that when you go, what are you? You know, it's how that comes across to me.
That's mean,
like,
right?
What is this?
What are you trying to be?
If I guess, at least I have a 50-50, you know?
Right.
what do you call this? What is this?
Or use a pronoun that couldn't possibly be a pronoun.
You explain. Explain
this. Say earthling. That covers it all.
Explain yourself.
Just say earthling.
Right.
Excuse me, human.
Yeah, somebody will be like,
it's got man in it. Yeah.
I'm not human. I'm a kitty cat.
I am not human.
I
identify as a
technically earthling.
Cat. Yes.
Yeah, so earthling covers any living thing on Earth, or any
from Earth.
Any ling, not thing, any ling.
Any ling.
Any ling.
Ling. Why do you got a speech impediment? You gotta say hello.
Shit, that said Chinese. That's the wrong one.
There's two things ripping on a guy with a speech impediment up here.
What now?
I didn't say it was nice. This isn't like. This is kind of cuts to the quick.
Cuts to the quick.
Uh-huh. I like that. So, roll the clip, Brady.
And I abandon the chair every 15 minutes roughly anyway.
Yeah. Allegedly, that's ignorant.
I'll be right back. I have to go find a new jabber.
This is when I thought the topic was Oriental, not orientation. So there's obviously an Asian flair tonight. But then I realized that how multicultural this rap was. This is my new favorite rap.
I'm not a model, I am the blueprint. Mr. Miyagi stole to get on my way, I'll hit you with that two-piece.
What did she just say?
She said, that's what I hear when I hear this bitch rap.
I watched this whole video, and the rapping's really good. The chorus is really bad. I like that it brings together people from different nations. It's kind of cool. I like it. I'm just not a real. The hook is not real hooky. But the rap is good.
What did he say?
I listened at 2 minutes 24 seconds in or whatever it was, and he said it was just it wasn't what does he say kind of a moment.
What'd you do it for? Is that the hook? What'd you do it for?
Yeah, see, I don't like the chorus.
So everybody wants to know what'd you do it for?
But I do like the fashion that they're displaying.
Yeah, you like the raccoon hat?
Yeah, I love the raccoon hat.
Dude, he's going Pat Boone. Wow. Daniel Boone. That's what I meant. Boone is somebody. I think Pat Boone sings "Put Your Head on My Shoulders." No, that's Palenka.
Are you sure?
What you doing, Paul? I need to know the comments. What's a hit from Pat Boone? Is it Tie a Yellow Ribbon? No.
Yeah.
I think it's
that was cool. I thought it was a cool video. Good. The song, the concept was cool. It was cool. I enjoyed it. That's my review. What'd you guys think?
Yeah, I thought it was. I don't know rap. I don't know. I can't tell.
It's your favorite. It's your new favorite rap.
Okay, sure.
Yeah,
I have to say that.
Do you know?
Sure. There's no calls. Somebody's got to call in 5-8-6-3.
Yeah, call the fuck in or text or call.
Give us your favorite.
The girls texted me their appreciation of my my job on the monologue because I didn't write a monologue. Instead of doing any show prep, I worked this week. Work sucks. I don't like working. I don't like having to work.
I work every week. I do.
I haven't had to
we've
work
been doing this the whole time. I don't know what.
So you're saying that for the last 3.5 months, why wasn't the monologue stepped up? I think only last week.
It was so fantastic.
You had extra time. So now we're going to see it down. Now it's going to start degrading.
Last week was my favorite monologue.
Yeah, that was our last. It was our last best monologue ever. Is what you're saying.
It is what I'm saying. Normally, I have nothing written. Today,
let's just quit then. Let's just go. All right, see you guys.
Oh no! We suck again!
No, 101. It's a new beginning. This is our orientation.
It is. It's our orientation.
This is the orientation.
Intro to ranting.
Now there was a what's that called? Orienteering. When you have to use a compass to find your way out of the woods.
I think this is called navigation.
Yeah, I was going to say navigating. Not even navigation.
Okay, well, orientation is
finding your orientation.
But orientation has to have it's not just a location. It has to be in relation to something else.
2 points.
Right.
Without a reference.
So our reference point is there an afterlife?
And no is the answer.
Well, no, it depends on where your orientation is of how far away you are from that point. It could be no, could be yes, could be somewhere.
What's going on right now?
My bad. My mouse. Well, because I have to use my touchpad because nobody wants to hear the mouse click. Apparently, is what I've been told. So, my finger slipped.
Oh, you elbow handed it.
Sorry, you guys were talking.
Do we have a chicken attack?
Not yet.
Do we have those Japanese guys talking about Japanese guy stuff? No. I don't think I sent one of those. I did send to Sabine.
One of those.
Hasenfelder.
I don't know. Brady's pulled up this gentleman before, and I've said that I've hung out with him, and I was actually in the audience during this comedy set. It was recorded in Detroit, but this was a heckler during the set. Wasn't much of a heckler, but it's pretty funny.
Okay.
That's crazy.
I identify as a space cat.
I'm so sorry?
Space cat.
You identify as a space cat?
Now, so I will tell you that this person
he's trolling
a bit, but they were kind of just kind of having fun. But they looked like someone that would identify as a space cat. Number one, number two, it was obviously a woman pretending to be a male, but he was there with his family, and his family was all normies, and he was like the only one that was, or she was the only one that was like playing pretend. And I don't think Newberg knew that, because I actually texted him. You can't text this guy. He will text you back. But I was like, dude, that was hilarious, but I don't think he knew that it was actually a trans. But
I don't. This is the most awkward encounter I've ever had with anyone. What does that have to do with anything that you identify? Like, there's no game called Duck. He identifies as a space cat. What is your name, sir? Excuse me. Hello. Hey. Hi. What's your name? How old are you, Joel?
28.
28? When's your voice gonna change?
it's because it's a...
What? What did I say? He's tough. He identifies as a space cat. How awkward would sex with Joel be?
Space Cat would have been better than Space Cat.
Like right when he's done, he's like, meow. I identify as a space cat. I mean, it's pretty gangster.
No.
It is. It's pretty gangster. I mean, I gotta give it to him.
No, still no.
No one else had the balls to say anything, and he just shouted out the most weird thing you could ever shout out. I mean, talk about like weird porn. Like, what kind of porn do you watch? I watch Space Cats.
Space Cats.
Space cat porn. You watch Space Cat porn? Yeah. Do you know Joel?
Sure.
Everybody.
You guys have Tourette's drops.
Space Cats.
Usually comedians don't like when you interrupt their live recorded fucking. Like he says at the beginning that he's recording this. He recorded 2 nights in a row at I think it was Ridley's Comedy Castle in Royal Oak. But yeah, I was in the audience. But no, but like if you're recording the fucking show, you don't want people just but it ended up being something because he spun it well.
I do, yeah.
Well, and then ended up making his shitty little album. So,
oh, well, fine then.
So one of the top names was Deion Sanders' kid. He was in this draft. He was like, he was projected to go like 5. He was on Mel Kiper's big board from the 20th pick all the way to when he was picked, and I don't remember when it was, as the next best available player.
The 4th round.
Yeah, he was there for like over 100 players. But some fun college kids. This is him getting a call from a team. Here, I'll just play it.
Frank!
Yo, what's going on?
Mickey Loomis here, GM of the Saints.
How you doing?
This is
good. How are you, man?
Good. Been waiting on you.
Been waiting on you.
We have. It's been a long wait, man.
No, for sure.
You didn't recognize the voice? Come on.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Let's be legendary.
Yeah, but you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer, man.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
And then they hung up. So.
And then he was waiting for the next pick to come, and it wasn't him.
He's the only one. He gave his phone number out just to the colleges, just this phone. So only they should have had it, but somehow it got leaked. I don't know how it got leaked. So here's the part 2. Now, just for the record, this is clearly not the Saints general manager. This is just some kid with an old. He's got an Ole Miss shirt on. But this is the other end of the call.
Hey, is this Shadur? Hey, this is Mickey Loomis here, the GM of the New Orleans Saints.
Because he started cracking up.
How you doing? This is Mickey Loomis here, GM of the Saints.
How you doing?
Good. How are you, man?
Good. Been waiting on you.
Yeah, we have. It's been a long wait, man. We're gonna take you with our next pick right here, man.
Let's be legendary.
Hey, but you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer, man. Sorry about that.
Oh my God! He
See, so I'm torn. I don't know. I mean, at first I'm like, oh, dude, that's
Why would you
so
show
nuts.
yourself doing that?
Right.
Yeah,
I just wouldn't show. I wouldn't put that on. I wouldn't put myself on. I put the audio out there. I wouldn't put.
What's the point of? I mean, it's like don't they say that criminals can't help but blab because they're like almost proud of it? He definitely. What's the point of doing a prank if you don't share it? Honestly, a quiet prank to me is more of a dick move because there was no payoff. There was no reward. Nobody even gets to share. This is definitely people are talking about it. I mean, I think it's a dick move.
Okay, so you think that's what he's going for? Because like he could get in trouble.
I think he's going to get in trouble. He's going to come out. He's going to be legendary. I mean, there's going to be a whole group of people that.
Yeah, he's going to be the new like.
Yeah,
the new
fill in the blank. It could be
whatever,
anybody all the way back to Tom Green. Yep.
Who's that bitch? No, not Tom Green. Who's the stupid? Who's a more recent one? The suck the cock,
Tim
spit
Tebow
on it.
failed in 2011.
Spit on it. Hawk Tua. He's the new Hawk Tua.
Oh.
He'll have a meme coin in a few weeks, and then he'll fucking fall off the planet, come back with a podcast.
Oh
yeah. I mean, didn't we talked about that on one of the shows? Would you go to jail for a year for $1 million? Like if you knew you did something
What
wrong?
kind of jail? Am I getting fucked in the ass?
It's a hypothetical jail. You might get hypothetically fucked in the ass.
Depends on who I hypothetically fuck with, or hypothetically.
I missed some comments. Sorry, I missed
who's
these
attracted
comments.
to me.
I'm gonna go backwards, so they kind of make sense.
Going
to a comedy show is retarded.
Yeah, it was interesting.
I went to some comedy shows in New York. I liked it.
It was the only comedy shows I've been to were his, and it was interesting.
Took my kids to the one down in New York when they were old enough to drink.
Wait,
what I don't suggest is going to the same comedian twice back to back, because like we're just trying to support him.
Did you pull a Gary and yell out the punchlines at every fucking joke? Because
no, you just don't laugh at all the second time, and it's interesting to see like the little bit of change up that they do, or the fact that like they have this shit so like it's like pre-rehearsed too much to where like I would get so tired of doing that. Like I have to repeat myself a lot to customers in my work, and I hate. It's one of the worst things I hate. It's so annoying. It's just redundant bullshit all the time.
A lot of those comedians too do that 2 and 3 times a night.
Oof.
I can relate to it. By the time you get good at playing a set of music, you are so sick of the songs, but everybody wants to hear that.
I've always wondered that.
Right.
Yeah, you get sick of it.
Especially somebody who
tired of
some
playing
basic
those
shit.
hits. And you want to play your new shit that nobody knows and nobody wants to hear, and then you start playing it and everybody just sits there. What the hell is this?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, if you have a dynamic whatever, and you have like multiple guitarists, right? One's playing like the rhythm isn't usually the rhythm like very boring and redundant.
You're talking to a drummer, so fuck off.
I don't know. You're on.
Drums are pretty redundant.
You drum by yourself.
You repeat it.
You just drum by yourself in the basement. I thought you hung out in the basement with multiple
I
guys.
do.
He does. I've watched him do it.
And I've been in a basement with a lot of guys for a long time.
Wow.
So none of them were playing rhythm. Nobody was playing rhythm.
Anyway, I do both.
Anywho,
I do both. I'm pan musical, like pansexual. I like to fuck flutes, is what I was saying.
Interesting.
So,
okay, so
the other thing was Gary was correct in calling it
Fladge Brady
orienteering.
drawer. I would kill Fladge, marry Brady, and Drawer's the sexy one.
Nice.
I am. Yeah. Nice scrotum, faggot.
If those are my only choices, I definitely pick that one because I don't die and I don't have to get fucked.
Right.
And I've proved I'm marriage
You're just the
material.
most financially stable of the three.
Speaking of that, this is the last week for clips. This is the last week for StreamYard. This is the last week for pretty much anything I can support. Yeah, so I pay money to pump.
I
the
don't
clips
support
in.
that.
But since you got a big settlement check with the unemployment, if you want to pay for it for a year, cool. Otherwise, my plan is just I've got a bin full of about 10 to 15,000 clips from the last year. That I'm just going to pop those up instead of new ones. I certainly don't have time to edit.
I did get a settlement check. I'm holding it right now in my hand.
Sweet.
It's from Lifetime Fitness. It was a class action lawsuit, and I just got a check actually within the week.
Is it less than $1?
It's $2.02.
Nice. That's huge for a class action settlement.
All I had to do was just like click on an email and say that I got solicited. When
See,
I was told not to.
I do that. I get to that point, but then where it says you can't follow up, this will conclude the case. I'm always like, you know what? You can hold your $2. I'm going to wait for my dick to fall off, and then I'm going to sue you for billions. But it hasn't happened yet.
No, it was just solicitation. It was unapproved solicitation. Post membership.
Post.
I am willing to foot the bill for the whatever we need for the show.
I loved Lifetime Fitness, but I just didn't want to keep paying for it if I wasn't using it, so I canceled it. But they were still soliciting.
The
after
Fladge Rants
they were
show
not
will now
supposed
be sponsored by the Fladge Rants show.
Speaking of post, you said post. Post-it notes. I bet you pull off Post-it notes the wrong way. Do you have a problem with Post-it notes? Falling off after you. I do.
I don't use them. I use a phone.
So show us the life
things
hack.
on my phone.
Years of pulling up, I should have been pulling down. Ain't no way.
Pulling
I was
down.
3 years old when I found the proper way to remove a sticky note from the stack.
I
You're
was
supposed to-
55 years old when I
use
found
those
out.
Post-it notes, sticky notes around here all the time. Normally there's 4 or 5 on the fridge.
I love this guy. If you don't
Today's
watch him
not
on
a years
YouTube,
old.
he's called the 40-year-old guy or something like that because he says, you're telling me for 40 years I've been doing it the wrong way?
On the door, stick them on the floor, and I don't know how many times I've come in here and they fell off the fridge.
Yeah, so
I
I
don't know how
stick
many
them
times
on.
I've come in there either.
If I leave a pile of shit somewhere that some other person is going to come by, I put a little sticky note on it, and it always fucking falls off.
Instead of, pulling them off.
This is orientation, by the way.
I don't use magnets or I don't know. I have a fridge that has a screen on it and you can just write on it. I don't know.
Yeah, really? Well, I don't have that at work or on job sites.
Supposed to take it. Just
Don't you-
pull straight down.
I can print out a label, yeah,
So
but
you're
when
gonna-
it's temporary, I use a fucking Post-it. Everything has an application. What do you fly a rocket to the,
Straight down.
what am I trying to say? You don't need to fly a rocket to
Terraform
go to
Mars.
work. You'd be over.
Flat.
He does not pull the
I've
sticky
snuck
notes
through
off
here.
properly.
2 of them I pulled
Supposed to
straight down.
peel
Straight
off
down.
and yank down.
Did it at an angle.
So that's what this whole thing's about. No, you don't peel it off. You pull it down. See, look, he proved it.
Look at them. This one, the sticky's already come off of it. Where that edge was curled. These two,
I've tested it.
perfect. So
Did you film yourself
apparently
testing it?
pulling straight down on them.
No, but I'll do it again
is
if
what
you
you're
want.
supposed to be doing.
I don't know where my sticky
Now
notes
is that
are.
life changing? No, I hope my wife don't see this because she's gonna start doing this.
More sticky notes.
You could just curl that end back before
You can't. You can't.
You've
Once
tried.
it's not flat, dude. It
Well, don't
fucking,
touch it. You don't touch it.
Try it. Do you
Nothing's
have sticky
different
notes?
about how it
Is
comes off.
Can we?
No, I don't use them. I'm an adult.
Yeah. Oh, adulting.
Wait, what?
I've got an orientation on being an adult. The only
only
thing
does
I
it
really
appear-
identify with is being tired all the time.
Ryan got a check from Verizon that he still has for 1 penny.
Wow.
I think that's a
It's not even
Columbia
worth the
Record scam,
paper
though.
it
Be
was
careful with
printed
that,
on.
Ryan. Next thing you know, you'll be getting a Verizon device sent to your house every month, and you'll have to pay a shitload for it. Don't you get 99 Verizon devices for a penny? All right, I was saving this one too. I'm going backwards. Gary, how's the new job? What are your hours?
6 to 2:30, Monday through Friday. Saturday's
Okay.
optional. I opted to work Saturday.
I better keep it moving. So here's the actual story about a judge considers a challenge to the Environmental Protection Agency's this is not what I wanted to watch. What?
Hi, Pops. Oh, hello, everybody.
Oh, ignore that.
What
They
did, oh,
changed
no,
it
no,
on me.
don't sniff the weed.
I lost a couple of videos too. See, I got to clip the videos because they're so bad they get edited off the internet. So I lost 2 shocking
Oh,
videos.
it's a baby.
Yeah, I know those things. She's getting big. Hi. Oh, I know, right?
I think this might be considered. When is it?
Bestiality?
Yeah, I'm really kind of creeped out a little bit, but it was
Well,
cute.
Jordan was
petting,
talking
but
about the
then
little cuts on his fingertips. He's got claw marks and scratches and bites all over his arms too from that dog.
Yeah. Are you just training him to bite? Why don't you get him one of those rubber?
No, that's all she
feet?
does because she's got teeth. She got baby
Well, you
teeth.
got to
She'll be
get
fine
her
when
some
she gets
shit to
adult
chew
teeth.
on and teach her to chew on that.
Yeah, I
instead
do.
of
Yeah.
people. Good job.
Yeah, that dog's got plenty of stuff.
Yep.
I'm sure.
Itch my arm. Thank you.
Do you want some alone time?
What your papa was doing.
I did mean to mention this. The reason I saw his arms was I actually saw Drawer IRL. Ashley
Yeah, I'm
Simpson.
not just AI. AI.
Did you kiss him like the dog did?
And
the
yeah,
dog
I did. So Sunday we went discing at Stony, you know that. But we met this stranger, and the rest of his car bailed on him. They abandoned him, so he was like out there all alone. So we had
First thing we
5,
do when we get there is Gary starts picking up random dudes.
and so I picked up a random dude,
Is it the new kid?
and we
That's the new
he joined
Ryan,
our car.
actually.
And
Oh, sorry,
you know,
yeah.
I started getting a few
Bizarro
drinks
world.
into me, and you know how I get inappropriate humor, and he wasn't having it. He wasn't getting it. He wasn't laughing, and I think we're not going to.
I picked up on that a little bit too. He wasn't. He didn't say anything, but he definitely was. I don't know.
He
I think
wasn't
he laughed
into
a
it.
few times. Or do you think he just laughed for the sake of laughing. Don't touch my beer cans, bitch.
Laughter is kind of contagious, and he wasn't even. He was kind of just playing along. It was pretty
Yeah,
obvious he wasn't digging
What was
it.
his name and address? Did you mention that you were on a publicly broadcasted show? I wouldn't mention that right away.
I
People
did. I
stop
told
it.
him.
Yeah,
I
people
told
probably
him the
stop
name of the
talking
show. I told him
we
Rumble,
like happy
Fladge
endings?
Rants Live.
Because we want happy endings. Why do you think we like happy endings?
Oh, this.
Because
This
we
is
want
great.
happy
The
endings.
happy endings.
We like happy endings. And here Jesus is offering us eternal life, a happy ending.
happy
So
ending.
the result then is if you believe, if you have repented of your sin and you come to faith in Christ and believe in a resurrection of the dead, and that Christ can accomplish this for you, that he died on the cross for your sin, as a Christian, then it changes a number of things.
Yeah. I thought the happy ending was funny.
Yeah. It changes a number of things.
Number of things.
Jesus died on the
Like
sins for
the
your
cost
cross.
of a massage.
What kind of a massage?
Happy ending.
So teaser for the Rumble side. We do have a Rachel Riggins update.
Ooh. We should probably go there now. See you on the other side?
Should we?
Yeah.
Wow.
Hit it.
That's quick.
It's a little early. Is there comments?
I got to get up in 4 hours.
I don't think there's any comments. People
There's
are
no
not
comments. What
commenting.
happened?
There's like 2.
People comment.
Well, yeah, no kidding. Well, let's hit the 2 that we do have.
Yeah, go to the shorts and comment right now, and we'll read them. We'll read it live.
Right, live. Yeah.
Parent advice time.
Hey, sweetie.
Honey, everything okay?
What happened, hon? My friends are having a sleepover without me.
Second of all, without ever experiencing consequences like the sorrow and sadness, and I feel bad for the little girl that she was excluded, but maybe it's pretty clear on that, right? Did it sound like I was critical? Let's just read the comment. Had DH27 said, "What the fuck? She's a kid. Don't have kids. You are the unlikable person here." Clearly directed at me.
Yeah.
So I don't know how caring for children and worrying about their future makes me unlikable, but I can tell you and assure you that I don't give a fuck if you like me. My goal is to have children that are likable and well-adjusted, well-productive, that have autonomy, mastery, and purpose, and hopefully some happiness. So I take offense to your comment. Of course she's a kid. What I was criticizing clearly was the parents, the moronic parents that were ignoring being parents. So what I have to say to you, head 27, is clearly you're a child.
Use
Brady,
Instacart.
I find you perfectly unlikable.
Use Instacart.
Oh my goodness, Fladge Rants seemed to have replied and said almost exactly what I did. This is weird. To be clear, we are being critical of the parents taking away the kids' consequences and replacing that feeling with food. We are not criticizing the child. I can presume you are your kid's
criticize
friend.
the child.
I'm willing to criticize the child as well.
Yeah, it's an Instacart commercial. I think the kid will be fine with it.
Them to feel bad. Good luck.
Use Instacart.
Possible for us to understand all of it.
You may or may not get a discount on Instacart if you use the keyword Fladge Rants.
Yes.
Yeah, you probably won't, but may or may not. It's
Bold
accurate.
and egotistical to think that we actually understand any of it.
You'd have to be an omnipotent being to understand it all.
So this one was a real short clip.
Impossible for us to understand all of reality.
Gary just simply said it's impossible for us to understand it all, and I just merely added that I think it's
It'd be arrogant to think so.
It's bold and egotistical
You'd
to
have to be
think
like
that we actually understand any of it. Any of it.
Any of
So
it.
I
Okay, yeah.
backed it up.
Okay.
That is not my cat commented and said, I want my money back after watching this.
Oh.
I want my money back after reading this.
Oh, look at that. Fladge Rants actually responded. Provide your address and we will process your refund. Thank you for your input.
Yeah.
Thank you for input.
Yeah.
Thank you for input. Right. Thank you for input.
Quote it right, you son of a bitch.
That's even worse. Thank you for input.
We don't want to misquote anybody here.
Why waste time with many word when few word do trick?
Nice.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
Who they? The fucking Astro Cats?
The people that suck. Yeah, the people that suck
I forgot what
at words.
What do they identify as?
Space Cats.
Oh,
Space
one more
cat.
thing we could do before we
There's
jump over
supposed
to
to be more
Rumble
comments. I
is-
thought there was more comments.
No, we had two.
There was one
Was it?
laughing comment and that was it. Yeah, we've been real limited on the comments.
How many?
How about
how many?
Sabina?
How many?
Yeah. Hit the bumper while I find the video.
Okay.
That's the bumper. Where's the bumper?
Why don't you ask?
Hasenpfeffer? What's
You need to ask
Hasenpfeffer?
nicely, you son of a bitch.
Fix me
What does that make me?
Hasenpfeffer. Here it is, Hasenpfeffer.
I didn't
That's
get
wonderful.
It out. I tried. I was so
You
close.
I can't get it out.
Andromeda paradox, a real effect
Ooh, I
in
love
Einstein's
paradoxes.
relativity. I didn't understand
Quack,
it, and
quack.
that
I thought
really
this is great because
play
we've
the
covered the
clip
video
that
she's
confused me
covered.
so much. It's from
Like
a
we've
recent
covered the video she's covering.
That's the wrong button. I don't know why. That was quite a reflex. I went to back up because look, that's her first cut. She did a little zoom cut, and I'm so proud. She's been doing this for what, like 50
See?
years?
Brady.
Yes.
Hold on. I
Yeah.
hate to jump back segments, but you do miss comments. What about this one? Oh, never mind. What about this one?
Oh.
Oh, you know, wait, what? Where'd that come from? That wasn't on my list of comments.
I did have to go to like the fucking newest first, but you go to a different thing, but I was just going through the.
Is that the topic this week?
I'm just saying, Drew McIntyre's lost.
Is that the topic this week?
I think it is impossible for us to understand all of reality.
It's weird because you had different. Oh, you were on TikTok,
Wait.
weren't you? I'm on YouTube.
Oh, I was going to say, I did that one. I didn't. How did I not see it? I was on that fucking clip.
Yeah, it was a different platform.
I don't know because
Well,
we were
are
all
there
looking
more
at it.
YouTube clip? I better go look back at. Wait, what are you on?
Did
You're
you
on
know who he
YouTube?
was prior? I don't know what the rest of the. The
I feel like a failure.
I've been called
That's
to meet
okay.
that.
I'm kind of overreacting.
That's why there's two
Parent
producers on
advice
the
time.
show.
Parent advice time. Is that why?
There's one.
No, it's the
Honey,
same
everything
one. We
That's the same
addressed that
one.
one.
I saw that big ass.
Yeah, we did.
Big ass chunk.
J Cargill.
I thought you
Saw
said
that
there was
big
another
ass
clip
chunk of
or
sausage.
another comment.
Big ass
Did we-
chunk.
Did we
The
find
pit.
it? Barrel.
We had a very Darrison bite. Let's go to Terrace Chase and look for the bit.
Yeah. Did this start with a woman having a stroke?
Had the pet.
What I was trying to say Because you guys are talking about if it started or not at all, and if it has always been there. What you were saying after that was it never was. It's
Turtles
nothing.
all the way down.
I
It's
mean,
nothing.
at the end of it,
Very bear say.
And what's
at the end of it
what's
all,
the
I mean, who's
reply?
to say it ever was?
What's
It
the
all
reply to
happens
the
at
comment? Exactly
Is
the
that you?
same moment.
Time.
Great clip. Does this start with a woman having a stroke?
Bear.
Somebody apparently
Darrison
drawer 6815 says
by-
yes, and it
let's
also
go ahead,
ends with a
Terrace
man
Chase
having a
goes to
stroke.
the head of the pet.
What I was trying to say, dude, I'm on the comments still. You guys still don't see that comment.
Wow.
Isn't that bizarre? That's bizarre, right?
It is bizarre.
How bizarre. How bizarre. Blue, 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 blue. Oh, baby. Look how handsome you look.
I know. I got to dress up more
I
frequently.
know. Right.
Finish puberty.
I like this shirt.
The Andromeda paradox, a real
Watch this.
effect
Watch this
in
cut. She
Einstein's
never does this. Watch how
relativity.
fancy this is
I
right here.
didn't
Here it comes.
understand it, and that really
Oh, she's wearing
annoyed
makeup
me.
and
Let
lipstick.
me play you
Did she
the
get
clip
freaking
that
Botox?
confused me so much.
She's watching her.
It's
Lips
from
are
a
not
recent
normally-
Star
Oh,
Talk
shit.
episode.
She's
with
like this. She's like,
astrophysicist
it's not just the
Hakim
lipstick.
Hussein.
Yeah,
What is
you
the
know,
Andromeda
because
paradox?
Go to a
The
video right quick where
paradox
she's not
is
wearing
the fact
lipstick.
that if you and I are looking at Andromeda, 2.5 million light years away, then
We were-
what happens is,
we-
suppose you're sitting in your chair and I'm running by, and at the
I
second I
know.
run by you, we both look
We
up at
covered
Andromeda.
this. That's
Because
why I
our
wanted
minds
to
are
include
stationary,
her
we're gonna
comments
see
on
events
what
that are
we already
days
commented
apart,
on.
even though we're in the same location looking at the same time.
Okay, now
And you think that relativity, and you think that the light relativity, and keep talking.
How
Just-
far, wait, in this scenario, how far away from me are you when you're running by?
We're in the same place, essentially.
So you're like literally running
I've never
here,
heard of this paradox.
and you
Yeah,
look
right,
up,
it's a little paradox
and the
right
thing
there.
that you see and I see are days apart
Days
because of our physical perspective.
Well, here's what you would think. You would think the light is arriving right now. We should all be receiving this light, but that's not how it works. Motion changes the perception of time.
Did you see how confused Neil looks? That was exactly my reaction too. Like, this can't possibly be true, right? This doesn't make any sense. Then again, relativity has this
Yes,
way of
her
messing
lips
with
are
your brain.
definitely,
When I looked up the Andromeda paradox,
what's that
it
called?
turned out that it originally came from Roger Penrose, who I think understands Einstein's
something with
theories
tiles
better
and
than
shit, doesn't he?
Einstein himself. So now I wasn't
Oh,
just
pause it for a
annoyed
sec.
at
Pause it.
myself for not understanding.
Look at this shit.
Are you gonna put out a duck?
No, she had some work done. Or that or some Botox. Look how much fatter those lips are. She looks fucking stupid.
Yeah, definitely just this video. Yeah.
She looks fucking like a duck.
Hasenpfeffer? What's Hasenpfeffer?
Please, please, please.
Yeah, she looks.
Seriously, if
more
you're
like
gonna
that.
like get some shit done, I don't know, do something to those
It's paradox,
titties. Or
but also embarrassed.
she's wearing a
because I
nice
thought
shirt,
I
nicer
met
shirt. She
Penrose's
must have got a new
books.
boyfriend
But
or
let's
something.
look at exactly what Penrose
We got
said.
survival
or rather
videos on
wrote.
Rumble.
This is
Still
from
the same
his
old printer back there,
1989
though.
book, The Emperor's New Mind.
Oh yeah, what kind of printer is that?
1989
Canon,
book,
fucking
The
tons of Canon
Emperor's
right off
New
the bat.
Mind. Two people
Oh, that's
pass each
pretty
other
new.
on the street,
looks
and
old
according
as fuck,
to
I
one
guess.
of the two
Printer
people,
technology
an
doesn't
Andromedan
advance.
space fleet has already
can see the
set
logo,
off
the
on
HP
its
logo now.
journey, while the other, the decision as
think
to
it's
whether or not the
27.
journey will actually take place has
be
not
so
yet
bold as to
been
say
made.
that.
That sounds very similar to what Hakim says on the podcast, but note that Penrose didn't
no,
say that the
527, the
people who
display's on the
pass
other
each
side.
other actually see the event. Penrose goes on, how can there still be some uncertainty as to the outcome of that decision? If to either person the decision has already been made, then surely there cannot be any uncertainty.
Doesn't it depend
The
on where
launching
they're
of the space
orientated?
fleet is an inevitability. In fact, neither of the
Oriented?
people can yet
Oriented?
know of the launching of the space fleet. They can know only later when telescopic observations from Earth reveal that the fleet is indeed on its way. Then they can hark back to that chance encounter and come to the conclusion that at that time,
Did she say
according
could
to
hark
one
back?
of them,
They could
the
hark to it
decision
back?
lay in the uncertain future, while to the other it lay in the certain past. Was there then any uncertainty about that future, or was the future of both people already fixed? What Penrose is going on here is that in Einstein's theory, the notion of now becomes subjective. Neil and Hakeem go on to talk about this in the podcast, but I think they've messed up the relation to the Andromeda paradox. Let me draw this in a space-time diagram because I think this will clarify it. In a space-time diagram, we have space on the horizontal and time on the vertical axis. You have to imagine that this one-dimensional space is actually three-dimensional, and well, good luck with that. If you just stand still, then you move on a vertical line in this diagram like this. If your friend walks by at a slow pace and meets you just when the clock strikes 0, then that'll look like this. Let's say that Andromeda's over here. It doesn't matter exactly at what velocity it moves relative to the two people, so let's just say it doesn't move relative to you. In these diagrams, light travels by definition at a 45-degree angle. You can see immediately that there is exactly one light signal arriving from Andromeda at the place and time the two people meet. So they must agree on what they see. This is why I was so confused by what Hakeem said. It just can't be correct. And indeed, what Penrose talks about in his Andromeda paradox is something else. What these people see is something that happened in the distant past. Andromeda is 2.5 million light years away, so we can only see what happened 2.5 million years ago. Penrose is instead talking about what happens in Andromeda at the moment these people meet. And for this, you have to introduce a notion of now or of simultaneity. You can do this, for example, by saying, well, suppose I place a flashlight left of me at a distance of 100 meters and one right of me at a distance of 100 meters. At which moments do they have to flash so that I see them flashing at the same time? The answer is the flash events both have to be on the same horizontal line. And since I know how far away the flashes took place and how long they traveled, I can figure out which event in my past coincides with these two flashes. So these three events happened at the same moment. And this tells me that generally everything that happens on this horizontal line happens at the same moment. In each moment, everything on a horizontal line is now for me. But here's the thing, your friend who walks by doesn't agree, because between the moment these lights flash and he sees them flash, he's moved. So he sees the flash he's moving towards earlier. But your friend could find out what happens at the same time the same way as you by putting two flashlights at the same distance from him, and if the flashes arrive at the same time, he'd know they happen simultaneously. The issue is, though, that his idea of simultaneity doesn't agree with yours. His simultaneous surfaces are tilted relative to yours, and so his now doesn't agree with yours. But let's come back to Penrose and the fleet of Andromedans. Suppose the Andromedans want to invade the Milky Way. Here they discuss the idea, and here the fleet takes off. The issue is that as you meet your friend, they're still discussing it in that moment according to you. But according to your friend, they've already left. Now, neither you nor your friend can possibly know anything about this, because the information from Andromeda can't yet have reached you. But this brings up the question of whether the decision was already made. As Penrose writes, was there then any uncertainty about that future, or was the future of both people already fixed? So the Andromeda paradox brings up this question of whether the future is still open or already fixed. The usual conclusion from the relativistic discussion of now is that the future is as fixed as the past. This is what's called the block universe. The only other way to consistently make sense of a now in Einstein's theories is to refuse to talk about what happens now elsewhere. That's logically possible, but it's just not how we use the word now. We talk about things that happen now elsewhere all the time. So I find this an unsatisfactory solution, and I believe that the block universe is correct. I explain the consequences of this in more detail in my book, Existential Physics. But to come back to the start talk, in the podcast, the two go on to discuss the question of now in Einstein's theories, and that's all well and good. But I think that they didn't correctly explain just what the paradox is. It's not just you. Relativity really is confusing. Even physicists get it sometimes wrong. I find it endlessly fascinating how much physics tells us about the fundamental structure of reality. It's not just relativity, but also quantum physics and generally differential equations and all the maths that we use. If you want to learn more about all of this, I recommend you have a look at the courses on
Brilliant.
Hey, word up. Bachelor number 1. Okay, this is the security. I got a piece of popcorn stuck in the back of my teeth. How would you get it out?
Well, Wanda, I probably wouldn't even get it out. What I do is I probably put some butter on my tongue and just work it on in there with the rest of that popcorn.
But wait. It's a man.
Just trying to get nasty over there, ain't you? But that.
Yeah, this is back when that was.
So you drink one beer, you're not an alcoholic. You make one song on SoundCloud, you're not a rapper. But I suck one dick.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, I agree too. You are. You don't even have to put us down on SoundCloud. If you rap, you're a rapper.
Right.
That's the key to being something. Whatever it is. If you call yourself an artist, you need to be making
is
art.
a musician.
If you call yourself a welder, you need to be welding. If you call yourself a podcaster, you need to be podcasting. Whatever you think you want to do, just do it. And then you are that thing. You don't need approval or money or anything to validate it.
All right.
To be successful at it, you do. To be happy with it, you don't.
Varied. How are you measuring success? Back to money again? We've had this conversation.
What other kind of success is there?
See, you lost me on that. Fuck off. You'll know. You'll grow. You'll get it.
Money being happy with something is different than being successful.
Agreed. But maybe if happiness is what your goal is and you succeed at happiness, then that's success. So obviously the goal matters of what the success brings, right?
I don't know. I think you lost me.
So
I'm
if
not
you-
saying that you weren't making sense. You just lost me.
I don't like that success is only equated to the corporate ladder and money. You know, you could, if you ask somebody, did you want to be homeless?
It's about winning. It's winning overall. Winning.
Winning what? More than your neighbor?
Winning. Success. Winning. I don't know. It doesn't have to be a direct competition, but if you want to compare, then yeah, winning.
I remember being 40.
I don't.
It's adorable.
I don't.
You're gonna race through life. You're gonna do all this winning and succeeding, and then you're gonna realize that was a waste. As long as you have enough.
No.
All right.
Don't trust me.
I must be wrong then. What the fuck?
I'm
do
not
I
out
know?
there like, oh yeah, no.
Well, my point. Hey, I don't know. Obviously, I don't know.
When I am not working,
the success
fuck work.
varies. It's obviously
Even when I
vastly
am
different.
working, fuck work.
Huh.
See,
I
I
do
feel
that shit
I
with a
don't feel
smile on
sorry
my
for you,
face, and
but
I do
mean,
it fucking good.
I don't want my clients to know this, but I love my work. I love doing it. I would do it for free if I could get by living. Like I don't want to charge anybody any money ever. I'm not like communist or socialist. Obviously, I understand.
Understand?
Understand.
Understand.
That's a carryover from Sabrina.
Sabrina.
All right. So the last thing I want to show on YouTube is this. So
Is
I'm
your
always
penis.
careful. I'm always not careful on
Dick or
pictures.
dildo?
You know, I blur out my neighborhood and I don't check this guy out. See what happens if you let a little bit on the internet. This is
A lot of people
amazing.
are thinking, Jordan, where are you?
Did he say drawer?
I don't know. I don't know. I know I have 5 more hours left, and there's 2 possums.
You know I had to do it to him. First thing I noticed is that the North Face logo on your sweater was backwards, meaning you recorded this in selfie mode. So after reversing the image to get a better lay of the land, I noticed some pretty flat and arid landscape, some sparse vegetation, and some very clear skies. All this is fairly reminiscent of the Southwest or the Great Plains states, which is why I noticed most people in your comment section guessing things like Oklahoma, Nebraska, Texas, or Nevada.
This has to do with orientation too.
I'm not most people.
Yeah.
Road trip, and if this was some big cross-country road trip, you'd expect this highway behind you to be some interstate highway, but I noticed some problems there. First, using this pole as a reference, I noticed it took this truck approximately 1.21 seconds to travel just around 80 feet. It would only put the truck speed at 45 miles an hour, which is pretty slow for an interstate highway. Additionally, this overhanging sign seemed to comprise of 2 flashing lights on either side with a diamond warning sign in the middle, which I could only imagine being something like this, with the 2 flashing lights adding to a warning for an upcoming stop. Again, something you would not expect to see on an interstate highway. Maybe this wasn't an interstate highway. Maybe this was actually just a state highway that would have an intersection with a traffic light of some kind if it intersected with another state road. It seemed to be the case because the road behind you, while it only had 1 lane on the left side, actually had 3 on the right, which would make sense if 1 was a turning lane to the left, 1 was a turning lane to the right, and 1 just continued straight. The only other place I thought you might see a sign like this would be perhaps if this was at an entrance to the highway. It didn't really look like there was anything behind this post to intersect from. It also seemed like you were standing so close to this highway over here that if this road that runs perpendicular to the highway over here turned into an entrance of some kind and didn't intersect with it, we should be able to see that entrance at some point throughout your video. All this seemed to suggest that you were never on an interstate highway, and these 2 roads behind you are just 2 state roads. The only way you'd pull over and not be next to an interstate highway would be if you were never on an interstate highway at all. You were just on state roads this entire time. Told me you never left the goddamn state. Or in motherfucking California. 2 things that let me know which state roads to look for. The first being that whatever road this is, it has to be important enough to have a sign like this. Seemed to be one of these changing displays, which you typically only ever see on major roadways. I also noticed the moon over your head over here, and based off the part of the moon that's visible and the date that you uploaded this, to determine the moon's azimuth to be around 100 degrees. So put the moon directly east, which means whatever road this is has to be traveling east-west. Given the fact that you're already back in San Diego just 3 days later for a poker tournament, I figured that you were actually on your way back from whatever road trip this was. I figured I'd first start looking in the Fresno area, roughly 5 hours away from San Diego, where I found these 2 state roads that seemed to intersect at the direction and sizes I was looking for.
This guy, does he get paid for this?
These 2 signs.
Does he make money off of this YouTube channel?
Had a road above your shoulder,
No.
I'm looking from that same vantage point. This white
Well,
pole
then
behind
he
you
needs to
off in the
get
corner.
away.
With
Come
the
on,
exact
that's
same
fun.
scratch marks.
What he's
Blue and
doing
black
here is fun.
Just 4 hours away from San Diego, specifically in the parking lot of this general store. Remember, kids, even if you don't know where you are, someone.
Someone always
Why does he
knows.
have to? Why does he have to reach out to the children? That's kind of creepy.
It's creepy. We try to reach.
Threat?
the
Was that a
children.
threat? That sounded like
think
a
it
threat
was.
to the children. Watch out,
Before we
children.
threaten any more children.
Disclaimer. The unfiltered and crude proclamation of jabber speech. Gibber. Folks, listen up. Before we dive gibber into this circus of crudeness and uncensored banter, here's our no-nonsense disclaimer. Served with a side of Fladge humor. Gibber. Look, we're here for a good time, not a gibber-correct time, alright? In this crazy world, we're snowflakes, applesauce, and jabber critic. We're just trying to spread some joy without stepping on too many toes. So, here jabber, article I, let's get jabber. The sole gibber of our discourse, be it from guests, hosts, or any random loudmouth, is to tickle your funny bone, tease your gray matter, and illuminate the path to a mirthful existence. Any semblance of seriousness is gibber accidental. Article 2, jabber everyone equally. We're equal gibber offenders, alright? We don't give a hoot about your gibber, race, religion, or whether you prefer cats or dogs. We're here to roast everyone from politicians to gibber to our own sorry selves. No gibber safe, not even grandma's apple pie. Article 3, screw political jabber. Listen, we ain't here to hold your hand or jabber anything. So, if our jabber offend you, tough luck. We're not responsible for any ruffled feathers or gibber feelings. But hey, if you can take the heat, we promise we'll dish out some belly laughs and maybe a couple of gibber. Article I gibber, fake news alert. The tales, rumors, and downright lies you hear here as gibber is a $3 bill. Any resemblance to real life events or people, whether alive or pushing up daisies, is purely gibber and probably a result of us hitting the bottle too hard. We're pretty sure the earth is round, but jabber, who cares? Article B, jabber, cause why not? Parody and gibber are our bread and butter, folks. Any likeness to actual people or characters is just us having a laugh, not a reason for a jabber. We might not be the smartest gibber in the jar, but we sure know how to stir up some trouble. So, in closing, if you've made it this far without getting your undies in a gibber, then congrats, you're our kind of people. We're just here to crack a few tasteless jokes, spread some jabber joy, and remind everyone that life's too short to be serious all the frickin' time. So buckle up, buttercup, and get ready for a wild ride through the absurd gibber of our humor while Fladge Rants live.